Week's Monday Night Raw. I mean, I can say many things about Raw. For the past weeks, I have been saying that Monday Night Raw have been becoming better week after week. The quality of the matches, the storylines, it has been better shaped. It looks better. The talents that have been coming up from NXT, there have been some nice flavor to be on the show. But this episode, it was one of the worst things that I have seen in 2019. I couldn't even believe my eyes. The show started with The Shield, as they came out, from the stands, old school way. They came to the ring. Roman Reigns talked about how life is too short, and that's why he wanted to get the band together and to have this match, the last match for The Shield, together. They basically talked about Seth Rollins, facing Brock Lesnar. He has this big thing to do, and they left the ring to let him talk about it. Seth Rollins talked about, conquering the beast, being the beast slayer. WrestleMania is going to take the crown. The same thing that he had been saying week after week, the same thing over and over again, because Brock Lesnar, he's not on Raw. So he has to talk about him and, hype up the match. So all of a sudden we see Paul Heyman coming out. He says the same stuff. Yeah, Brock Lesnar, he conquered everyone. And that's what he will do at WrestleMania, as he will defeat Seth Rollins in the main event. I say, you know what, Paul? Especially for the WWE writers, they say the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And that's what WWE is doing here. Seth Rollins says the same stuff. Paul Heyman comes out, says the same stuff. They just changed some words. The exchange is the same exchange all the time. But this time, Shelton Benjamin, who was on SmackDown all this time, we never saw him on Raw. He comes from behind, he attacks Seth Rollins, he gives him 3 suplexes. We go to break, we come back from the break, and we have a match. So I was thinking to myself, why Shelton Benjamin? We didn't see the guy for a long time, and all of a sudden he comes out and attacks Seth Rollins, and now they have a match. But then it dawned on me, I was like, yeah, he used to be the tag team partner of Brock Lesnar before. They were together in OVW, and they basically trained together and grew up together. So it kind of makes sense. Paul Heyman was on commentary and just, deflecting all these accusations about, Brock Lesnar sending his friend to do his dirty work and take Seth Rollins out. But the match was fine, and as expected, Seth Rollins won the match, and that was that. I know some people love Seth Rollins. They love him even as a babyface. They think this guy is something huge, he's something big. But I don't like babyface Seth Rollins. I think whenever when he's talking as a babyface, it's not believable for me. I feel like he's doing it from sheer pressure because, I don't want to say pressure, but the company wants him to be the top babyface, because of the Roman Reigns situation. He should be the number 1 babyface guy. And even though they have other babyfaces who can be number 1, like AJ Styles, he can be your top babyface if Roman Reigns is not there. But Seth Rollins as a babyface, I don't like it. I don't know. For me, I feel like he's not connectable. He's not himself. He's fake. Maybe he's not, but that's how I feel about it. Am I excited to see Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania? No. I'm totally not excited about it. I feel like we have been talking about this match for such a long time, and now we have 3 more weeks to talk about this match, and next week Brock Lesnar is showing up, so maybe something different is going to happen. But we saw Brock Lesnar right after Royal Rumble basically decapitate Seth Rollins. He took care of the guy, and why should I believe if Brock Lesnar can defeat this guy and make him his bitch? Why should I believe that Seth Rollins has a chance to defeat Brock Lesnar? Somehow, some way he needs to win the match at WrestleMania. I don't know, maybe with 3 curb stomps or maybe 10 curb stomps that Brock Lesnar will at the end not kick out and win the match, or with the help of Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns can come out after his match. We still don't know what his match is. the Seth Rollins match won't be the main event. It will be the semi-main, as the main event will be Becky, Charlotte, and Ronda Rousey. Let's see how it goes. But after that, it was the Intercontinental Championship match between Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor. The match was going fine, and I thought, like, Finn Balor is going to retain the title. Somehow, Lio Rush is going to come in, and he will cost, Bobby Lashley his match, because they have been teasing dissension between Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush, and we didn't see anything like that. We saw everything is totally fine, because Lio Rush, as the match was ending, like, Finn Balor had the upper hand, he was about to win, we saw Lio Rush ringing the bell, and showing himself, he rang the bell, so Finn Balor got distracted, and when he took care of Lio Rush, he springboarded somewhere. I think he was springboarding, or he was at the top turnbuckle or something. But mid-air, Bobby Lashley spears him, 1, 2, 3, and he regains the Intercontinental title again. Basically giving a big middle finger to the fans and telling them, look, if you like someone, we're gonna fuck you with it. And that's what happened here. And I feel like WWE, whenever there is like this guy who is loved, or someone that can be a threat to Roman Reigns, they just kill that guy down. They did that before with Daniel Bryan, they tried, but it didn't work. And now with Finn Balor. Why would you do that? We saw Bobby Lashley, he was so boring with the title. We thought we can have some new, fresh matches with Finn Balor. Maybe he has a match, like a big match at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title, and it can mean something. The title should mean something. This title, is prestigious. People like Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, even The Rock, they held this title, and we thought, this title should be elevated, just like the US title. Samoa Joe, he has the title now. But they're not doing that. And I have no idea why. Do they want Finn Balor to win the title at WrestleMania, and to make that moment like a big moment at WrestleMania? I don't know. But I don't think so, because Vince McMahon doesn't believe in Finn Balor. It's true. You may think, no, maybe Finn Balor, he got injured and that's why he's not having those opportunities anymore. Vince McMahon doesn't believe in Finn Balor. It's plain and simple. He's a small guy. He's not jacked up. He's not American. And Finn Balor is not his type. It's a shame, because the guy is so talented. He was the original Bullet Club leader, and he could have been something big. But they're not going with the guy. I don't know why. So, Alexa Bliss, basically, she had a Moment of Bliss segment, excuse me. And the title was, she's going to announce who will be the host of WrestleMania. Right away you can know what's coming up. So she announced that she will be the host of WrestleMania. It sucked big time. When Finn Balor lost the title, you can see everywhere, the crowd was dead, and they were, the fans want something nice now. So you screwed the fans, and they want to see something beautiful and something great, but for Alexa Bliss to come out and swerve the fans, even though the fans can know what's coming up, all the time they think they're smart, and I'm sure Vince McMahon is sitting with the writers, we're gonna put this graphic of Alexa Bliss, she will announce who will be the host of WrestleMania, and people will think, these are these big names, but then when she reveals it's herself, they will gasp, and it will be a big moment, because that's how they think. They think their ideas are awesome. A Day of Life of Bailey, what happened with Alexa Bliss, they thought it's a great idea and it's a great segment, but that didn't work out at all. So then we saw Charlie Caruso. She interviewed Baron Corbin backstage, and I'm telling him, you attacked our guests, those two guys from Saturday Night Live. Then basically someone comes out and says one of the guys sent him a car as a gift. So when we come back from the break, we see Baron Corbin, in front of the car. He basically was about to attack the guy, the messenger. Then he destroys the car. And magically, if you go to WWE shop, there is a toy with Braun Strowman and the same car being sold there. Like, I think they're wizards or they are magicians. They can know what kind of merchandise is coming up soon. And that's what they did there. It's mind-boggling to me. But guess what? Until that moment, that was the best thing you could have seen on Raw. Braun Strowman destroying the car. You know, when Braun Strowman is a destroyer, he destroys shit, trucks, or whatever it is. I think there was once backstage, he pulled a scaffold out, and he was a destroyer. Like, in these segments, he shines. So if they do this more with the guy, maybe he will become the old Braun Strowman and people will love him again. So I say do more of this. And not matches. That can be better. Ronda Rousey came out and she was yelling the usual stuff. You can all take your applauses and shove it. You think I give a damn what your bandwagon bitches think? And you think I forgot when I got beaten, then you all chanted, you deserve it. She was talking so fast and the fans would barely hear what she's saying. And you know, when you talk fast, basically you lose the audience. Because, you know, the audience that doesn't pay attention, they think you're mumbling with your words, like sometimes I do. So, that's what happened there. And out of all the ladies that are on Raw, guess who came out? Dana Brooke. She said, I have to prove to you that I'm not just a name and I can take you on. And basically Ronda Rousey just destroyed her. And as she was destroying Dana Brooke, one of the referees was yelling at Ronda Rousey to go to the back. So this referee, poor referee, like he was doing his job, and I'm sure, you know, in his ear, Vince McMahon was shouting at him to, you know, tell Ronda to leave the ring. And he was so close. Ronda Rousey slaps him so hard that the guy's face turns inside out, and he turns, like his whole body turns maybe 480, like a turn and a half. And the guy's just, you know, goes down. I wanted to see a shot of his face because I'm sure his face was all red and the palm of Ronda Rousey was planted on his face. So, yeah, it was a sight to see. Just go and watch the slap, but not the promo. So, Ricochet and Aleister Black, they defeated Bobby Roode and Chad Gable in like less than 5 minutes with a black mass from Aleister Black. And after the match, the Revival attacked both Ricochet and Black. Kurt Angle, he came out. He said that at WrestleMania, it will be his farewell match, so his retirement match, and it was in his hometown of Pittsburgh, so he wanted to have his last match in his hometown, and it was against Apollo Crews. He defeated Apollo Crews and won the match. Also, Elias was about to do a concert. He did his usual stuff, making fun of the hometown and the city that they were in. So, guess who comes out? No Way Jose. He comes out, I guess maybe they had a match or something, but Elias attacks him and wipes him out. Wow. Just wow. Then we see, they announced that Harlem Heat, they were going into the Hall of Fame. It was announced, you know, before the show. I say much deserved, but Booker T is a Hall of Famer. So now he will be a 2-time Hall of Famer. And Ric Flair, he is a 2-time Hall of Famer. And that's one thing that I don't get, you know, about the Hall of Fame. If one guy goes into the Hall of Fame, there is no need for them to go into the Hall of Fame again. I think if you go into the Hall of Fame as a singles, you know, wrestler, then you go in again as, you know, inside a faction, then it should still be a 1-time Hall of Famer. Because if it is a 2-time, then it doesn't make any sense. It's the Hall of Fame. They do this, you know, party. They do this big glamorous thing for this person, you know, to talk about his accomplishments and how much it meant for them to be into this business or into this sport. But to be into the Hall of Fame twice, that doesn't make any sense. And that's what happened there. I think the Harlem Heat, they are one of the transcending tag teams in professional wrestling and also sports entertainment, of course, and WCW. I will never forget the promo of Booker T when he did this promo about Hulk Hogan. He said, "I'm coming for you, N-word." And That was like that's iconic. I'm not talking about Peyton Royce and Billie Kay, but that moment itself was iconic. Like, truly iconic. So, I'm happy for them. Lacey Evans came out. She did her usual walk-in, but this time she didn't walk down the ramp. She went to the commentary table. She covered Renee Young's face with a fan that was in her hand. And while she was walking back, Nia Jax and Tamina came out. Nia Jax shrugged at her, told her, like, whatever, go away. Then it was Nia Jax versus Natalya. But before Natalya went into the ring, she announced that Beth Phoenix will be beside her in the ring. So as she did that, we all know that, Beth Phoenix, she may come back and do a match. So the match ended quickly by disqualification when Beth Phoenix attacked Nia Jax. And she was working over Natalya in the match. She also knocked down Tamina. Then the heels just went out of the ring. And when she knocked out Tamina with both of her hands, basically, she did that like as a shoot. You can see Tamina holding her face, like she did that so hard. And just in that small segment that she was on TV, she showed more charisma than 90% of the women on the roster. If that's not a testament for Mrs. Beth Phoenix or Mrs. Copeland, she was great. Like, I was a big fan of Beth Phoenix before, especially back in the day. I mean, I thought she was a great wrestler. I mean, at that time, the wrestling with the women wasn't that huge. So I think that match can be great. I don't know if they're teasing this for WrestleMania, but it should be at WrestleMania. Batista and Triple H face-to-face, as they announced before. But Triple H came out, and he was in the ring. Then we see Batista coming out. He was standing on the ramp, and there was security in front of him. They didn't talk for a while, so it was just, silent. Triple H said, so he wanted security because he wanted protection. Batista said no. He wasn't stupid. He learned from the two dirtiest players in the game, and admitted that the security was here for himself. He asked Triple H, where is his sledgehammer? Batista said they were going to do things on his terms, and was going to be what he wanted. He was shouting that, like, give me what I want, give me what I want. Triple H was like, I'm not gonna give you anything, give me what I want you at WrestleMania. I was like, dude, if you guys are too gung-ho about each other, you don't need to wait until WrestleMania. Just find yourselves a hotel and do it there. But at the end, Triple H, just to come to it, he said, you know what? Fine. If you want me at WrestleMania, then you got it. Batista was, basically he removed his glasses and he was in tears. I don't know why he was crying. And I don't blame the guy, because for years he was asking for this. He wanted his match at WrestleMania against Triple H, and finally Triple H agreed to it. But then, as he was leaving, Triple H said, no, wait. We will have the match, but that match will be a no-holds-barred match. And with that added stipulation, I think that match can be amazing. It can blow the roof off, and it can be a great send-off to Batista. But if Batista's having his last match in WWE, I guess he's losing the match. And Big Papa, the Papa of NXT, is going to win the freaking match. Also, in the main event, it was supposed to be Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin, but as Roman Reigns was entering the ring before the match, Drew McIntyre attacked him. Roman Reigns tried to fight back, but Drew McIntyre caught him with a Claymore kick, and he sized him up to do another Claymore kick, this time knocking Roman Reigns' head into the ring post. Officials ran down, and Drew McIntyre, as trainer, checked on Roman Reigns if he had a concussion. So Roman Reigns was groggy. Seth Rollins came down to check on Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns said he didn't want to do this out here. Seth Rollins told Roman Reigns that it was okay to admit if he's not fine. Roman Reigns said he just had a headache. He put his arm over Seth Rollins' shoulder, and they walked up the ramp. Back from the break, we see Ambrose and Seth Rollins walk into Roman Reigns, and they urge him to get checked out. Seth Rollins said, you need to be okay before you go out there. Dean Ambrose saw Triple H, and he told him, you know what? Triple H asked how Roman Reigns was doing. Dean Ambrose said he wanted Drew McIntyre in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Triple H said, Hell yeah. I mean, Dean Ambrose, at the beginning of the match, he was enjoying himself some snacks, and he was eating. And then they came back from the break. Basically, they were brawling everywhere, up and down. You should have seen the look on Renee Young's face. She was like flabbergasted and disgusted at the same time. So Drew McIntyre lawn darts Dean Ambrose into the stage screen thingy. He went into the WrestleMania logo, and then as they were on the rail, you see a Claymore from Drew McIntyre to Dean Ambrose, and he wins the match. The match was fine, but I think this show, Monday Night Raw, I just want to see the viewership. I think after Finn Balor lost the title and everything that ensued after that, I think the viewership went down and down and down, and they were teasing the main event to be Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin. Like, who wants to see that? So, I don't think the numbers would look good, but maybe I will be wrong. I will leave it to you guys. What did you think of the show? If you liked it, disliked it, just mention it in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching this video. Press a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel, it will help us a lot. Take care, guys.